following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Phoenix, this is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. You are about to listen to the nastiest Christian radio broadcast in the country. You're going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and we don't care who likes it. Today's Bible study, transgendered autism. I pulled this file out of my, this is weird, file. This one you ain't going to believe. On second thought, maybe you will. Hey, will you call somebody and tell them the radio program's on? This is Brother Mike. I'm at HardcoreChristianity.com. We have the Arizona Deliverance Center in Central Phoenix. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road. On the website, you'll notice we have 2 live services every week at 7 o'clock, Thursdays and Friday nights. Brother Rick hits it Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's our most anointed service of the week. It's fantastic for healing and deliverance. Please come. My teaching service is every Friday at 7 p.m. for my radio listeners. You can catch all of the teaching on our YouTube streaming service. Both those services, by the way, are broadcast live on youtube.com/House of Healing AZ. When you go to the website, please hit the PayPal button and send us another donation. Please sign up for one of our free seminars. We have monthly seminars, ladies only seminars. I have a teaching class the 4th Saturday of every month in the small sanctuary. Don't forget about Sister Karen. She's on the homepage of the website, ready to list her house for sale. She loves working with born-again Christians. Thank you for all your kind support of the ministry, and most of all, thank you for your prayers particularly for that Tucson trip. It was remarkable. We had 2 or 3 remarkable healings in the services Saturday in Tucson. Transgendered autism, unbelievable how our society has sunk into the vat of sin, fulfilling 2 Timothy 3:13 and 1 Timothy 4:1. It is amazing. Recently in the Olympics, transgendered woman, a man who competes and identifies as a woman. I got to give this guy a little bit more credit. He did transition. He had the surgery. Unlike most people who just simply identify as another sex and then go around pretending they are that sex. That is a demonic, satanic delusion that's incomprehensible. This Laurel Hubbard, I guess she used to be Larry, from New Zealand, didn't even get close to the medal round, but she started taking female hormones at age 34, and last week competed at age 43 in the Olympics. It's amazing how accepted he was, and the Olympics now will accept all transgendered people. It's amazing how our society here in America has sucked this thing in. It's absolutely unbelievable. Valentina Sampiao was 2020 Sports Illustrated's swimsuit model. She started out as a guy. Dwayne Wade's child, Zaya, said that felt she was a man from age 3. Dwayne Wade and his wife have bought into it. Miriam Rivera was the first transgender reality star. She committed suicide at age 38. Alexis Arquette, from the famous Arquette acting family, she transitioned into a woman in the early 2000s. She died not too long ago. Her death certificate was very interesting. They listed her name as Robert Alexis Arquette, noting the cause of death was cardiac arrest, and she also had HIV. It's happening again in our society. The unbelievable has become believable. In Minnesota, of course, it's got to be Minnesota, They have a state law up there that says after you're divorced, both of the child's parents have an equal say in important matters in the child's life, such as health care, education, and religious training. It's a law in the state of Minnesota. Amazingly, in Minnesota, the mother of a 9-year-old boy who has autism was taken to a gender identity clinic, and they started to transition the child with autism into a boy. When the dad found out about it, his name is Brian Netz, he was absolutely stunned and couldn't believe that the clinic started affirming his fact that he was actually a girl without even informing him, according to Minnesota law. He'd already been previously diagnosed with autism when he was 4 years old, so he had been treated for autism for approximately 5 years, and that treatment was to continue, obviously, until adulthood. And now the mother believed the son, and the clinic diagnosed the boy with gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria is a psychiatric term, as you know, that describes a person's emotional and mental lack of congruity with the sex that they were born with. It's a problem with your gender dysphoria. And she took him to be evaluated at a gender identity clinic, and from that day on, they started to treat him for transitioning. The dad found out about it, and as they say in the street, a bunch of stuff hit the fan. And he got a lawyer. He got a copy of the medical records of the clinic. And interestingly, the medical records showed that the therapist in charge of his son, Troy Weber, started to refer to him using female pronouns and plural pronouns. They also called him a female variation of his name, if you can believe that. The therapist also diagnosed the issue, claiming that the child was a transgender lesbian. A transgender lesbian. Really? Okay, now, excluding this particular case, transgender female lesbians are not going to go over well with real lesbians. Hello? A lesbian is a woman who was born a woman, who knows she's a woman, who is attracted to, sexually, other women. Well, transgendered men are not women, and lesbians know that better than anybody. And there has been recent research studies done, however they haven't been extensive, on the reaction in the lesbian community to transgendered females. And they are not being accepted because the lesbians know that the person is not a female. And in the medical records, back to this case with the child with autism, the therapist in the records was noticed to be an advocate of reparenting, which necessitates that a therapist affirm, nurture, and challenge the patient, and that means that they must respectfully restructure a client's reality and obtain consent to confront skewed reality. Translation: the therapist is required to get the patient to see that they are not the sex they were born with, but that the new reality is that they are the opposite sex, and that is their gender identity. And, to make the story a little shorter, obviously the father has gotten a lawyer and he is suing the clinic, and he's trying to set a precedent in Minnesota that would help other parents facing this same problem. This situation with transgenderism is booming in the United States, and because it's booming, everybody knows it's not real. It's a social media, demonic, satanic-driven issue, because statistically there couldn't possibly be this many number of transgendered people being discovered in our society. It's not even possible. According to the official statistics, homosexuality is only about 8% of our society. I believe it's a lot higher. I think it's 10% or higher. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Transgenderism is like 0.5% of our society. And transgenderism is booming statistically much faster than homosexuality. It has to be a demonic, socially driven phenomena. Young kids are looking at TikTok and YouTube, and the demons are entering their brain, telling them, hey, you weren't born a boy, you're a girl. You weren't born a girl, you're a boy. This is all satanically driven. It's caused by demons, and these demons enter the child's brain and morph their gender identity, just like they enter the child's brain during periods of abuse and abandonment as children. And the demons enter the brain, and during puberty begin to morph their sexuality. If your child is suffering from these types of spirits, please bring the child to our children's deliverance services. They're at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturdays. It's usually every other month on the first Saturday of the month. Please check the website for the dates and times for the services. Bring your child for deliverance now before it's too late. If you wait, the state is going to support them and not you. Even here in Arizona, the therapists are going to support them and not you. They're going to try to secretly transition your child, and the demons are going to take them for the rest of their lives. 602-636-5800. The Children's Deliverance Service, Saturday at 10 a.m. Check the website.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.